Welcome to the Speak Black Woman podcast. I am super excited because today is a exciting podcast episode that I am really looking forward to. And this is your very first time catching me. I want you to go ahead and put first time in the comments. However, if you've been rocking and rolling with me, maybe this is your second, your third time, or maybe you've been with me since I started this podcast a year ago, I want you to go ahead and put tribe in the comments. And if you're listening at your leisure, maybe you're folding clothes, you're driving in the car. Either way, I'm so happy that you are here. Let me tell you something. I have some special things that I want to share with you. I want to share with you because you have been supporting me. You have literally been a part of my voice voyage where I have lost, leaned into, and leveraged my voice in every aspect of my business. And I'm really excited about this book project. And more importantly, on May the 22nd, I am having a Speak Black Woman experience where I will be birthing my second book, which is called Speak Black Woman: How Black Women in Business Can Profit from Public Speaking. And you know that I want you to be a part of that. So if you're interested in that, I will actually let you know a little bit about how you can join me for that. Or if you want to go now, you can go to quinconyers.com and click on events and you can register. It's absolutely positively free of charge. So, it's interesting because some of you, we're absolutely really already connected. And some of you are like, wait, who is this Quinn Conyers girl again? Maybe you're new to me. Maybe we met on Clubhouse. Maybe you saw me on another podcast, but my name is Quinn Conyers and I broadcast the brilliance of Black women in business. I show you literally how to turn conversations into cash so you can maximize and monetize all speaking opportunities on behalf of your business, your book, or your brand. I personally believe that your voice and public speaking is your secret weapon when it comes to making ridiculous revenue in speaking. So if that sounds good to you, you're positively, absolutely in the right place. And what I want to do today with the time that I have with you is really take you on the journey with me. Matter of fact, I'm calling it a voice voyage because I wish I can tell you that I woke up like this, but I really worked for this. But it's not just enough for me to tell you who I am and what I do. I think it's also important for me to show you, and then we'll be right back. Now that you know a little bit about me, it's interesting because I'm really excited and I'm nervous at the same time. I think every time, especially as a woman, when you're about to birth something, whether it's a baby, a book, a project, you get a little bit nervous, but I'm more excited because I just know that I meet so many awesome and amazing women, especially who look like me. And sometimes they don't have the confidence and the courage to really be their own advocate. They don't know how to verbalize their value. And part of what I want to do with my Speak Black Woman, an experience is really show you not only the value in your voice, but I want to take you behind the scenes. I want to show you, I want you to experience, I want you to see some of the people and places that personally has affected me that probably you can relate to. You can apply it to your own business or your own speaking career, because there are so many people and places that literally I either lost my voice, I leveraged my voice, or I leaned into my voice. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. There's a couple different ways and areas that I've literally lost my voice. And if you are not familiar with me, I've been speaking for 16 years. My virtual consultant, Sharita, had to remind me because I thought I was only speaking for 14 years. But apparently I've been speaking for 16 years after I began to do the math. And what I realized is along that voice voyage that I was going on, there's been times where I leaned in, there's been times where I lost, and there's been times where I leveraged my voice. And I want to give you a quick little synopsis on a time where I lost my voice. You see, 7 years into this business, I believe that the only way that I could make money speaking is if somebody paid me to speak, if somebody actually gave me an honorarium. But what I quickly realized that that's only literally 51% of how speakers and entrepreneurs make their money. They make their money through speaking and somebody pays them. And then I discovered the 49% principle, which I'll be talking about in my book, Yes, it is here. You can pre-order it, but more importantly, you can go literally to quinconyers.com. And you can go ahead and sign up for the experience where I'll be talking about the book, how you can work with me, and why you need to retire your boring and basic elevator pitch and replace it with a verbal business card. But I'm going to tell you about how I lost my voice. And I'm going to tell you why I lost my voice, because I realized that you can pay your own self by creating your own stage to speak and serve. And that's exactly what I did. So I remember back in 2014, literally, I rented out this place called Signature Blue Events in Hyattsville, Maryland. I got about 170 people RSVP for this event that I was going to teach them how they can make money at selling products at vending events. Had about 100 people show up to the actual event, and I poured all day, no PowerPoint, just me in heels, giving all I got on this training on how they can make money literally selling their products and services at vending events. And at the end of that presentation, I offered an opportunity for people to work with me for a 6-week coaching program for $397. This is 2014, y'all. So I ain't offering those prices like that anymore. But at the time, it was a huge deal. And I really thought that there was going to be a bunch of people who ran to the back of the room, because I've seen it. I've been in the rooms. You make an offer. It seems like the whole crowd gets up and runs back. Then you're like, what? Did I miss something? And nobody stood up. Nobody got up to go take advantage of my offer in the back of the room. I was devastated. I felt as if I literally gave all of what I had, show all's God goodies. I felt like I was naked in front of a football team, and they were like, yeah, no thanks. I felt as if I literally proposed to like the love of my life, and he was like, yeah, nah, I'm good. We just friends. And I was devastated. So I was like, you know what? Maybe God made a mistake. Maybe I'm not supposed to speak. So I stopped speaking. Literally for about 2 or 3 years after that, I could begin to focus solely on my bag business, Purse Paparazzi, and I literally put the mic down. Can you guys imagine me not speaking for 2 to 3 years? But it is true. And literally a good friend of mine named Tiffany Bethia, if you know me, you might have heard this story before, but if you haven't, you want to lean into this, because Tiffany, you got to have some good girlfriends. Go ahead and put good girlfriends in the comments if you have somebody who's going to literally call you out on your stuff or remind you of your greatness. If you have somebody like that in your life, go ahead and put good girlfriend in the comments. And literally what Tiffany said to me was, Quinn, when's your next speaking engagement? When are you doing a workshop or a seminar? I'm like, girl, I don't do that no more. I quit. I ain't speaking. I'm going to focus on selling these bags and making this money. And she looked at me and she says, Quinn, you're not good at speaking. You're anointed to speak. And in that moment, she broke my silence, because I had lost my voice 3 years prior. By her saying that, it activated something in my spirit that really reminded me like, yo, I got to get back on this stage, because I was making the money, but the fulfillment and the excitement wasn't there the same way when I can speak life into a Black woman, when I can show a woman how to verbalize her value, when I can show a woman how to tell people what they do with confidence and clarity and courage. Like, that was missing. So when she said that, it kind of shook me to my core, and I had a wake up call like, you know what? I need to start speaking again. Like, what the heck is wrong with me? But that's just one instance where I lost my voice. And again, I'm going to be going into a few other times, because I hate to tell you this, y'all, I ain't wake up like this. This is 16 years in the making. I know I got a baby face, right? But literally, I've been doing this. My first speaking engagement in front of over 1,000 people literally was on the campus of Westchester University, where I served as one of the keynote speakers at my college graduation. That was in 2005. I graduated from college with my undergrad degree, with my bachelor's in 2005. So can you imagine, like, from 2005 all the way up to 2021, I've been doing this. So that was just one way that I lost my voice, right? Another time, and again, if you want to know more about this, I really want you to come to the Speak Black Woman experience, because on May the 22nd, I am literally showing you how to leverage your voice as an income stream, marketing strategy, and lead generation tool within your business. I'm also going to be celebrating the birth of my second book, which is called Speak Black Woman, How Women in Business Can Profit from Public Speaking. Special shout out to Marshall for doing the graphics for my book, as well as Kia Harris for being my publisher. So if you want to know more about how you can leverage, lean in, especially if you lost your voice, make sure you go to quinconyers.com, click on the events page, and you can register, or go ahead in the comments. LaShante already posted that link. You can register. register. But let me tell you about how I leaned into my voice. I remember after graduation, because after I graduated from Westchester University, I had decided to go on over. I decided I wasn't done with school. I needed to go to some more school. I done already went from kindergarten to 12th grade. Then I went to 4 years, got a degree. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to go to Howard University and get my master's. And that's exactly what I did. And I remember being there. And after I left Howard University, it was literally time. Hey, Erica, it was literally time for me to get that first job. And I remember this was 2007. I want to say, and they were like, yes, we want you to, work for us and, whatever. And I'm like, oh yeah, I would love to do that. And they came back to me and it was like, yeah, your starting salary was going to be $36,000. I said, no, ma'am, no, sir. Like, I'm not making nothing less than $40,000. Little did they know, my friend Corinne, she had just got a job and she was making $40,000. So I just thought that everybody's supposed to make $40,000 when they first start their first job. So literally they were like, yeah, we're going to offer you $36,000. This is a management position. You don't have any management experience. And I was like, listen, I was an RA for 3 years, a resident assistant in a co-ed dorm on the campus of Westchester University. If I can manage 200 college students, I can manage 9 adults. And it went back, did some, different types of calculations, came back, and they gave me the $40,000. And that is when I discovered that I leaned into my voice. I didn't realize that was negotiation. I didn't realize that that was called something. I just realized that what you're not going to do is pay me $36,000, not with this master's degree. No, ma'am, no, sir. So I don't know where I got the guts, the grace, or the balls to do that, but I did. And that was one of the instances where I remember literally leaning into my voice, like really leaning into it. Like I knew I had a voice, but I could have definitely been like, you know what? $36,000. It's a first job. I'm going to take whatever they give me. But something inside of me was just like, ask for more. But again, it was my friend Corinne because she had got a job and she was making 40. I'm like, well, I got to make $40,000 too. I just thought that that's the way that you did it. So that's a time where I leaned into my voice. And again, I know, right, Erica? Like, I just was like, yeah, that like what I'm not going to do, you know what I mean, is take that first job. I don't know. I don't know. Does everybody negotiate? I don't know. I just was kind of doing my thing and it worked out in my favor. And I'll be talking more about that at the Speak Black Woman Experience that is happening on May the 22nd, where I'm celebrating my book. I'm going deep into a few chapters. There's some things y'all don't know about me. So I want to let you know, like, this voice, this confidence, this courage, listen, not always. I was trying to figure it out. I've always been a great speaker, but I didn't necessarily always know like how to lean in or how to backtrack after I've lost it. And now, I want to share with you how I even leverage my voice. So I know a lot of you guys are like, oh my gosh, the book is amazing. I want a copy of that. Yeah, you should get a copy because it's amazing. And the copies will be available at literally the Speak Black Woman Experience, which is happening May the 22nd. So if you want to pre-order the book or learn how you can work with me, then you definitely want to show up on May the 22nd because I'm diving into all of that. I'm talking about the birth of this book. I'm talking about my voice voyage, how I leaned in, lost, and leveraged my voice. I'm diving into a few chapters that really give you a behind the scene look on literally how I built a business using my voice, y'all, using my voice. So if you want to know that, definitely go to quinconyers.com, click on events, and you can register. So now that I told you a little bit about how I lost my voice, how I've leaned into my voice, let me tell you how I leverage my voice in business, right? Hey, everybody, I see that you are here. If you haven't already done so, make sure you click that StreamYard link so I know exactly who is saying the comments. I just see Facebook user, and I want to call you out by name. So Erica, thank you so much for being here. Erica and I were in a clubhouse room earlier, and I know this is LaShante. Make sure you click that so I can acknowledge you. I think I saw Monique. Yes, lean in, always lean in. So happy that you are here. Everybody else, I see you, but make sure you click that StreamYard link so I can honor you and see your face and put your comments right here on this screen. And how I leverage my voice. A lot of you guys know me as a coach, and I work with entrepreneurs and teaching them how to retire their elevator pitch and upgrade it to a verbal business card. But when I really got started, I was operating a bag business called Purse Paparazzi, which still happens online, but I really kind of put that to the back burner as I'm really focusing on elevating, enhancing, and illuminating the voices of Black women in business. And I literally had contracts and licensing to create custom purses for women who were in sororities and women who attended HBCUs. And that was my first dibble and dabble into super serving Black women. And with that, I remember I was like, oh my gosh, I'm on my way to an AKA convention, or I got a Delta convention, and I really needed money to grow and expand my business. And I didn't have the confidence or the courage really to go into a bank and ask for a loan or a line of credit. So I remember when I was at Howard University, I was introduced to business pitch competitions. And that's when you give your best 30-second, 60-second elevator pitch. And this is when I began to leverage my voice in business. I was like, I wonder if they have these business pitch competitions for adults. And guess what, y'all? They did. So I began to enter and win business pitch competitions, $5,000 here, $10,000 there. And that's how I began to fund my business, because I began to leverage my voice as a funding source for my business. Let me tell you why this is so important. Black women are the fastest group of growing entrepreneurs, Tina. The fastest group. She says, I love your course and it was very helpful. Awesome. Black women are the fastest group of growing entrepreneurs. However, of the funding that goes to women, that's 2%. So 2% of women get the funding that they need to grow, start, or expand their business. Of that 2%, Black women get 0.6% of the funding. Let me tell you why that's a problem. That's a problem because Black women are the fastest group of growing entrepreneurs, but we're making the less, and we're also the less funded. Okay. So me being able to use my voice to fund my bag business was life-changing, because a lot of people don't get the funding that they need to start their business. So I did what I knew best. I knew how to talk. So I spoke, I pitched my way to funding my business. And I'll be talking about that. A lot of times, as if you guys open your mouth, that is where your funding is going to come. And I know public speaking is the number one fear. But if you are an entrepreneur and you are a business owner and you are not using your voice in your business, you are leaving money on the table. And you are, I don't know about you, but I don't like money that's muzzled. Okay. I want my money to breathe. I want my money to live. I want to attract my money. And at the end of the day, your mouth should literally be your number one marketing strategy. So if you want to grow your business, you got to be really innovative. This is what I talk about, y'all, in the book, Speak Black Women. How women in business can profit from public speaking. I literally show you how to leverage public speaking, how to leverage your voice, how to leverage, as an income stream, a marketing strategy. And at the Speak Black Woman Experience, I'm highlighting the book, but I'm also going a little bit deeper, because some of y'all need more than a book. Let's be real, right? Some of you need more than a book. You need someone like me to show you how to verbalize your value, show you how to articulate your awesomeness, show you how to be the spokesperson for your business, your book, or your brand. And that's why I'm inviting you to the experience, because yes, I want you to pre-order the book, but I also want you to understand the value in your voice. I want you to understand that your elevator pitch probably in its current state needs to be retired, and you probably need a verbal business card. I want you to understand how you can profit from public speaking beyond money, right? There are relationships, promotions, and publicity opportunities that I've gotten just by being a speaker. So some of you are thinking, how can I just make money speaking? But I want you to understand how you can use your voice as promotion, use your voice as publicity. So there's so much that's going to happen on the 22nd. And this is why I want you to be a part of it, right? Because at the end of the day, your voice literally is the foundation for your success. Like, you can earn revenue in business, but you can earn ridiculous revenue. And every entrepreneur that I follow, every entrepreneur, every Black woman in business that I admire and I trust and I follow and I really sink my teeth into what they're doing, they're speaking. Some of y'all got something to say and you've been holding that message hostage. And my goal is to unlock your voice. Matter of fact, I want you to break stereotypes and shatter misconceptions. I want you and me to make our ancestors proud. Do you understand at one point that literally we could get our tongue cut out of our mouth for speaking? And you got the nerve to be quiet? No, ma'am, no, sir. This is the time where we must speak up, but I get it. A lot of us don't know how. A lot of us have been told to be seen but not heard. Don't speak unless spoken to. A lot of us have been told so many things about our voices that we have been muting ourselves, or maybe you've been work hurt. You worked at an occupation or a job when you came to work. You were lively, you were energetic, you were excited, right? And all of a sudden you would come to the meeting and you had all these ideas. In the beginning, everybody loved your ideas. Yes, go Erica, go Gersha, go D. And then maybe a couple of years into your journey, they start looking at the clock, giving you the time that it's time to hurry up or shut up. Right? Then slowly but surely you begin to climb the corporate ladder, or you stayed stuck, but your voice begins to mute and muzzle. So my job is to give you your voice back as a Black woman in business. And this book is just a tool. It's not the complete journey. It's the appetizer. That's why I want you to be a part of the experience, because it's so much more. And some of you already work with me. You have a verbal business card. That's great. But let's be clear. 2021 and 2020 was a freaking, we didn't know what was happening. You might need a refresher. You might start out in 2020 doing something because of the pandemic. You switched it up, and maybe you need another way to articulate what you do. You're welcome as well. So the Speak Black Woman experience is really for women who are in business, but also know that they've been getting speaking engagements. They have been getting podcast interviews, and they're not maximizing or monetizing. Or you work with me in the past and you know you may not activate everything that I told you to do, right? It's life. It's okay. You are more than welcome. And I want you to be a part of history with me as I launch my second book, which I'm so excited, called Speak Black Woman. If you want to know this, pre-orders will be happening on May 22nd. If you want to register for that, you can check the link in the comments, or you can go to quinconyers.com and you can click on the events page and you can register, because I'm going to take you on a voice voyage. You're going to meet people and places where I've lost, leaned in, and leveraged my voice. So pay attention, because I'm about to depart on a journey, and my final destination is this experience. So you're going to be seeing videos from me, interviews from me, going to different places where I lost, leveraged, leaned into my voice. You're going to hear from people, and places that assisted. Like there's a lot of people who literally their DNA is on my voice. Like literally it's because of certain mentors and friends that I've met along the way that really have given me the confidence and the courage to be the Quinn Conyers who you see now. So I think it's really worth it to go through on this voice voyage with me, like to go to some of the places, again, where I've lost, leveraged, and leaned into my voice. And I'm going to take you on that journey. And the final destination will be the Speak Black Woman experience, which is happening on May the 22nd. So D is here. D says, hold on. That's LaShante. Come on with it, Quinn. That's a whole word. D says, good afternoon, Quinn. Hey, D. She is a part of the tribe. Juanita, how are you? She says, good afternoon, Quinn. This is awesome. And again, LaShante just literally dropped the link in the comments. Again, when you come to the Speak Black Woman experience, that is where you will be able to pre-order your book starting on May the 22nd. So if you want to be a part of that, that is what you need to do. And I'm excited. Excited. Why? Because putting your intellectual property, putting your thought process into the world, in a book, in a conference, in an experience is fun. But taking people along on that journey, that's what I'm really excited about. Like literally, this is kicking off my voice voyage, a voyage where you are going to meet some of the people, meet some of the places that I've gone to learn. I'm going back, y'all. Like y'all going back, y'all have to see some stuff. So I just want you to be the first to know. I'm going to be doing some live videos. You're going to hear me talking about it on Clubhouse. You're going to see some videos. You're going to meet some people from my past, some people in my future, some people who are with me right now, who is really a part of me becoming who I am, so I can super serve you in my assignment in this season. And I know that part of my assignment is to break the silence of Black women. I know that part of my assignment is to give you the confidence and the courage to speak up on behalf of your business, your book, or your brand. I know that part of my assignment literally is to make sure that when you show up and you speak like you got our ancestors on your shoulders. When you speak with the confidence that they can't even mess with you, because the amount of anointing and amount of grace and amount of grustle, that's grind and hustle, and your voice is so apparent. Some of you guys can show up without even saying a word. That's the kind of confidence I want you to walk in when you're telling people about your book, your course, your coaching, your services. So at the end of the day, speaking on behalf of your business, on behalf of your podcast, on behalf of your course is a necessity, not a nice to have in business. The people who are making an income, the people who are making an impact, these are people who are using their voice. And let me tell you something. You don't have to be the speaker that's on 10. I just happen to be high energy, but there are people who are cool, calm, and collected who can hold the attention of a crowd. Your whisper can hold weight. So don't feel like you got to be loud and obnoxious and in people's face to be impactful. Your voice is your voice, and your voice is alive and well. Your voice, matter of fact, is literally a thing that is so much more than the words that come out of your mouth. Your voice is a living, breathing entity. Your voice has a heartbeat. Your voice has arms and legs. Your voice can be seen and heard. And this is why one of the reasons why I love the Clubhouse app. There's some people that I've never seen, but they can tell by my voice that I have a whole vibe and I have something to say of value and of substance. And if that is you, I want you to understand that as a Black woman, as a Black person, as a woman, period, let's be clear that your voice is your secret weapon in business. Like closed mouths don't get fed. Right? Like they just don't. So if you want to like really go from a mediocre business owner to a magnetic and magnificent entrepreneur, you have to speak. If you want to go from an excellent entrepreneur to an extraordinary business owner, you have to speak. If you want to fund your business, you're going to have to speak, because guess what? They're going to ask you, what is your business about? What do you do? And if you can't answer the question, you're leaving money on the table right then and there. And that's where I tell everybody to start. You need to understand and be able to verbalize your value and articulate your awesomeness. That is step number one. That is step number one that you have to do. And too many of us literally are playing it safe. We're settling. Too many of us are downplaying our greatness. Matter of fact, we're disrespecting our greatness. Like you out here acting like, oh, I just do this, or I have a little this. Ain't nothing about what you do little. Ain't nothing about your business, just you are in it. It's amazing. So it's time for us to highlight that. So I want to acknowledge a few people that I see. One of my mentors, Eldridge Allen, you're going to meet him. He's a part of my voice voyage. I met him as a student at Howard University. You're going to hear from him. You're going to see him, and you're going to understand why he and his imprint is on my voice, right? So you're going to meet him. Tina says, I'm excited. You're absolutely amazing and such an inspiration. Love it, Tina. Yes, I'm so excited. And shout out to Tina. She is one of the Speak Black Woman ambassadors. You're going to see more of her in just a little bit. So I'm glad that she's here. We got Juanita Grant in the building. Love her. She just signed up. Thank you so much. She is a whisperer. And Juanita, yes, your whisper does hold weight. Also, we got Miss LaShante, who is also the chief communication coordinator of the Speak Black Woman ambassadors. And she says, it's the confidence in your voice for me. We have to share our stories and our strengths. Yes, I love it. And I'm going to add one thing, LaShante. I'm going to say our stories, our strengths, and our struggles. Because at the end of the day, if you are not willing to be vulnerable, if you're not willing to let people see you with no weave in, with no makeup on, and just see you as a human, you're not going to connect with people. The reason why stories are so amazing, the reason why people connect with you is because of your vulnerability. It's because you're willing to take off the makeup. You're willing to take off the mask and be real and tell the stories literally when it wasn't so good. You want to know some stories about when it wasn't so good? Ooh, I got too many of those. But what I can tell you is every speaker, every entrepreneur I know who is super successful right now, they got some battle wounds. You roll up their sleeves, you're going to see the skinned elbows. You're going to see the bruised up knees, because the people who are making it, we've been down this road. And entrepreneurship isn't always as sexy as we literally claim it to be. So the people who are making moves, the people who are using their voices, they've gotten some no's in their life. But guess what, D? Guess what, LaShante? Guess what, Eldridge? They also got some yeses. And if you want to know, literally the secret sauce for success, in my opinion, is your ability to use your voice. Warren Buffett said literally that your ability to speak can increase your value by 50%. And Warren Buffett is a billionaire, and he has actually invested in public speaking coaching. So if you have a business, a product, a service, a coaching, a course, and you are not leveraging your voice, you are leaving money on the table. And I don't know about you, but I don't like leaving money on the table. Okay. I like to get all of what's mine. I want to collect the bag. I want to get my coins. All of that is what I want to be a part of. And if you want to do that, you got to learn how to use your voice. LaShante says, I want to hear all struggle stories. They are encouraging. Absolutely. Tina says, vulnerability is so powerful. It allows the connection to flow and you do it. Absolutely. Yeah. I be telling people like, listen, okay. Like entrepreneurship, speaking, I did a live on this before, maybe a couple of months ago, and I was talking about like, listen, if you ain't never almost got an eviction notice, if you have never almost got your BG&E turned off, that's Baltimore Gas and Electric here in Baltimore, whatever your gas and electric provider is, if you ain't never got a credit card that's been maxed out, a bank account that's been overdrawn, if you ain't never got a person who says, I'm sorry, we don't want to have you speak at our event, we're going to choose somebody else, you ain't in this business for real, because all of that is a part of the recipe to be success. There is many, that's many and plenty together, many of people who have got success, but we had to go through something to get there. It's like we want the promise, but we don't want the process. We want the reward, but we don't want the risk. It doesn't happen like that, right? In order to be super successful in business, you got to get your battle wounds. You got to get your war. You're going to lose a couple of braids. I'm going to tell you why a lot of us don't have edges, because we stressed, right? We got to get our lives together. We trying to be moms. We trying to be, wives, sisters, cousins, daughters, and run a business. It's not easy. But what I can tell you is I think that a lot of times people begin to talk about how we need more access to resources and we need more, capital. And I agree, Tina, I agree. I agree that we definitely need all that. But what I don't think that we talk a lot about is how, as Black women in business, what we also need is community and we need confidence. If you know for a fact that you're about to go into a speaking engagement, you're about to go into a business deal, and you have a community or a girl gang or a group of women that says, you got this, girl, it's yours. They're text messaging you right before you go into that meeting, you can put your shoulders back a little bit tall, right? But if it's just you and you out here, like, you're not by yourself. You're not the only one who almost lost the house. You're not the only one who had to eat oodles and noodles for a week. You're not the only one who overdrew a bank account. You're not the only one who literally was bankrupt, right? Every person that I know who's achieved success in their business or in their speaking career, we have all went through something like that. Okay. We all went. I mean, there's times where I'm just like, I'm going to be very honest with you. I remember me and my husband had been married. We got married. We met in 2009. We got married in 2013. I had my first child in 2015. Right. So there was about 6 or 7 years when it was just us. I didn't know nothing about this mommy life. I knew about how to be a fiance, a wife, and Quinn. Then I had this baby. Then a year later, I found out I was pregnant again. Don't ask me no questions. Don't judge my life. Right. So how we go from 6 years to no kids, and then we had 2. And then I was like, yeah, no, we're going to have to fix this problem. Right. So at the end of the day, I remember, my husband was working and I was now having a 1-year-old and a newborn. I was nursing, and he came home one day and he looks at me. He says, Quinn, when's the last time you took a shower? Diana, Tina, LaShante. I couldn't remember. I was that far off that I couldn't even remember the last time I took a shower. So I remember giving him my newborn baby. I remember him playing with my son, and I went in that shower and I cried. And I cried because it was one of those times where I just felt like, who am I? What am I doing? And literally it's because of him, because he's a part of my community. And even another friend of mine who literally said to me, hey, Quinn, you might want to talk to somebody. I was like, what am I not? What's going on? Am I crazy? She said, no, you're just not yourself. You're very energetic. You're bubbly. And what I know now is I probably think I was experiencing some type of postpartum, depression, at the time, because it was so fast. I went from being able to do everything to mommyhood hit me. My hormones were all over the place, but because of community, because of people who love me, just said, you might want to talk. There's nothing wrong, but you're very upbeat. You're very optimistic. You're a go-getter. And you just been kind of in a slump lately. That was my good girlfriend, Mwese, who, told me about therapy for Black girls. And I began to take more control of my mental health, and I tell you this because, again, we talk about being successful entrepreneurs. We talk about being bold, badass businesswomen. But at the end of the day, if you don't have community and confidence to check you when you're up and check check you when you're down, to check in on you. Like, what are we really doing? And that's why I so love Speak Black Woman and everything that I'm doing, because it's not about me being successful and solo. I want to be successful and surrounded. When I get to the top, I want Tina and Diana and Sharita and LaShante to be there with me. Right? In some capacity, everybody's on their journey. You can't compare I've been doing this for 16 years, right? So if you've been doing this for 6 weeks or 6 months, our stories are going to be different, but we all can get to the elevator and go to the top, right? It just depends on when. But I know for a fact that I feel like community and confidence is not talked about and discussed enough when it comes to how Black women can be successful. So listen, y'all. About to wrap this thing up. I'm so excited that you joined me for this episode of the Speak Black Woman podcast. I'm so excited about the Speak Black Woman experience. If you haven't already got your ticket, what you waiting for? Like, if you know anything about me, I'm going to have some fun. I am going to literally take you on this voice voyage, but more importantly, I want to dive into some chapters. I'm going to show you why you must retire your elevator pitch and replace it with a verbal business card. Share with you how to boost your business with speaking. But more importantly, what I'm going to do for those of you who already work with me, maybe you need a refresher with your verbal business card. Or if you have it, if you're brand new, maybe you need a verbal business card. Either way, I want you to be a part of the Speak Black Woman experience, because number one, I want you to celebrate with me the birth of my second book, which is called Speak Black Woman, How Women in Business Can Profit from Public Speaking, right here. Or we can also talk about at the experience, how you and I can work together after the experience. But either or, you're going to leave with tips, with tricks, with transformation on literally how you can use your voice, more importantly, public speaking and presenting, as an income stream, marketing strategy, or lead generation in your business. Quiet women rarely make history. It's the ones who speak up and speak out and talk and take a stand for what they believe in are the people who are making an impact and ultimately increasing their income. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody for joining me for this episode of the Speak Black Woman podcast. You have officially been quarantining with Quinn, and I always admire and respect our time together. This is actually season 2, y'all, because I started this a year ago. So literally this is the first episode of season 2. I have so many awesome and amazing guests that you're going to meet along my voice voyage. I have interviews with Evolve Benton. I have Ashley Kirkwood. I have Siobhan Cherry. There's so many people out there that you are going to meet, and I'm going to introduce you. And these are just boss Black women who are literally using their voice to profit from public speaking. More importantly, showing you the value and the richness in your voice as well. So with that being said, thank you so much for quarantining with Quinn. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and click that link in the comments that LaShante provided. You can shine up literally for the Speak Black Woman experience that is happening on the 22nd of May, as well as that is where you can get your copy of the book and you can learn about how you and I can work together beyond the experience. So with that being said, go to QuinnConyers.com, click on events to join me in May, or go ahead and click that link in the comments. And also, if you're catching this live, awesome. If you're catching it on the replay, go ahead and put replay in the comments when you get around to it. Or if you're listening at leisure on the app, make sure you do that as well, because as always, I appreciate you. I honor you. But more importantly, I am so excited to amplify and illuminate and highlight your voice as a Black woman in business. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great night.